Okay.
So my name's Hannah Westwood and my student number is 19000006.
Charlotte O'Dwyer Haynes, 1900AA.
And our story is The Three Billy Goats Gruff. Once upon a time there lived three billy goats called Gruff. All day long they ate sweet grass and played in the sunshine. Here they are, little Billy Goat Gruff, middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff, and the largest Billy Goat Gruff of them all. The largest Billy Goat Gruff said,
We've eaten our field bare. Let's go further across the meadow and try to find some sweeter grass.
So off they went. Soon they came to a river, and across the river they saw the sweetest, greenest grass they had ever seen. Their mouths began to water, and they imagined how fat they would grow. However, to cross the bridge was dangerous, because underneath it lived a mean old troll. Here he is. And if anybody tried to cross the bridge, he would jump up and gobble them up, so no one ever crossed the bridge.
I'm not afraid,
Said little Billy Goat Gruff, and he began to cross the bridge. Trip, trap, trip, trap, trip, trap. Up popped the head of the mean, ugly old troll.
Who's that trick trapping over my bridge?
He roared. And little Billy Goat Gruff began to shake with fear.
Please don't gobble me up.
He begged.
I'm not very big, just skin and bone. My big brother's coming behind me. Why not gobble him up instead? Good idea,
Said the troll, and he licked his lips. And he let the little Billy Goat Gruff pass safely over the bridge. Next, it was middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff turn to cross the bridge and join his brother in the meadow.
I'm not afraid either.
He said, and he began to tiptoe over the bridge, but his hooves made an even greater noise. Trip, trap, trip, trap. Up popped the head of the mean, ugly old troll.
Who's that trip trapping over my bridge?
He roared. The middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff began to shake with fear.
Please don't gobble me up.
Said the little Billy Goat Gruff.
I'm not very big, just hair and bristle. My big brother's coming behind me. Why not gobble him up instead? Good idea,
Said the troll, and he licked his lips. The middle-sized Billy Goat Gruff passed safely over the bridge. Now it was the largest Billy Goat Gruff of them all turned to cross the bridge. Instead of tiptoeing, he stamped across it. Trip, trap, trip, trap. Up popped the head of the mean, ugly old troll.
Who's that stamping over my
He
bridge?
roared.
It's me.
Yelled the largest Billy Goat Gruff.
I'm very big, all juicy and fat, and there's no one coming behind me.
The troll climbed out from underneath the bridge.
Then I'm going to gobble you all up then.
They ran towards each other and met with a giant crash, which sent the troll flying off the bridge and into the river. Splash! The largest Billy Goat Gruff passed over the bridge and joined his brother in the meadow. Once they'd eaten as much sweet grass to fill their bellies, the largest Billy Goat Gruff walked over to the bridge to see if he could see the troll. But he wasn't there. He was so happy that he danced all night long. Trippity-trap, trippity-trap, went his hooves on the bridge. So, how can our story of the three Billy Goats Gruff be used in relation to the national curriculum? As we've decided to deliver it to Year 1 children, but we've also linked it to the early years foundation stage framework, so we can link how we can develop children's previous knowledge.
Well, firstly, we would reduce and adapt the Three Billy Goats Gruff story to suit the children's ability. For example, we would use simple sentences that the Year 1 children will be able to read and understand this because it is one of the learning objectives for literacy and reading in the early years framework. In addition, we will include questions, contractions, capital letters for names and so on, which meet the learning objectives for the national curriculum. A copy of the story could be given to the children where they will highlight the punctuation and grammar points so they understand where to use them in their own writing.
We would then read the shortened version to the story, and we'd encourage them to anticipate what might happen next by asking them how and why questions, because they should be able to do this as these skills will have been developed in the early years.
However, to develop upon these skills and to meet the criteria from Year 1 on the national curriculum, we'd encourage them to recognise and join in with predictable phrases within the story, such as "Who's that tripping over my bridge?"
Next, we would ask the children to make a story map using pictures that represent words and phrases from the story. Our focus will be on ordering the events of the story using full stops to model sentence structure. This builds upon the children's prior development, where they have learned to give meaning to the marks that they make as they draw.
We then divide the children into small groups to carry out a hot seating activity, where one of the children would dress up as the troll for the other children to ask questions to develop their understanding of the story. We'd also give the children an opportunity to use some drama to act out the story using some masks, which will develop upon their skills from the early years of them being able to talk about their feelings and recognise how other people show their feelings. But this will also help to meet the national curriculum for Year 1 for spoken language, as the children will have to listen and respond to what their peers in their group say as how to act certain events out within the story.
We would then get the children to make a storyboard by sorting pictures of the beginning, middle and end of the story. The children will write a sentence to match each event that is correctly and accurately punctuated from what they have previously learned. This activity would meet the learning objective for the Year 1 writing composition section of the national curriculum, as the children would speak with a partner to compose a sentence orally, along with rereading what they have written to check their comprehension.
So a strength of speaking and listening is that there's a link between children's communication skills and literacy development. For an example, Britain observed that reading and writing flow on a sea of talk. So if we can improve children's communication skills, we'll also improve their attainment in reading and writing, which has been acknowledged by the DFES in their talk for writing as part of the writing process. As the National Literacy Strategy explores that writing should start from talking because children can learn a lot from talking, such as punctuation. Evidence to support these ideas is provided by the A Chance to Talk programme by ICANN.
The project improved the children's communicational skills and showed that there was a 50% increase in progress in reading than previous cohorts. Children with delayed language made between 9 to 18 months progress in language and communication after the Talk Boost intervention.
So this proves the link between communication skills and children's literacy skills, which is also explored by Shana, who suggests that if children retell a story that they're being told, that new language will move into the active part of the brain, so they'll then be able to use that language. So by the teacher reading them the story, they'll be able to use language that the children won't necessarily know prior to that, so it'll develop their vocabulary and obviously their writing skills from that.
An American study by Hart and Risley found that an American child from a professional family will experience around 2,000 words an hour by the age of 3, whilst a child from the most disadvantaged background will only experience around 600 words an hour. This amounts to a 30 million word gap, emphasising speaking and listening to close this gap.
So other advantages come from the theory behind language acquisition and the nurture side of this. So Skinner believed that children are empty vessels, so language needs to be put into them. This can be through imitation, which suggests speaking and listening in the classroom is important because it would allow children to imitate and learn language from the way the teacher speaks, but also from how their peers and classmates talk.
The disadvantages of speaking and listening within the classroom are explored by the nature side of the debate.
So Chomsky explores this side, and he suggests that children don't need any formal teaching of speaking and listening because they're already born with the ability to produce speech and interpret speech because they're born with the language acquisition device.
Speaking and listening can be difficult for EAL pupils to be involved in, and so it can limit their progress in comparison to their peers. Therefore, teachers need to plan speaking and listening activities for EAL pupils in a way to scaffold their English language learning. One of the ways a teacher could do this is by ensuring that the questions they ask encourage extended answers, as children with EAL are likely to opt for a shorter answer, but this is not beneficial to them as it will limit their thinking and not help them to extend their vocabulary. So speaking and listening lessons can also be difficult for children with hearing impairments, so unless adjustments are made, they will not benefit from speaking and listening lessons. it is important to adapt the storytelling for children and with hearing impairments via augmentative and alternative communication, also known as AAC. This is similar to a multimodal approach where a variety of methods are included, so gestures, manual signs and pictures and symbols, which are similar techniques to multimodal storytelling.
Okay. Great. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. I think we now have a round of applause for that.
Do you just want us to move these over to the side, or do you want us to get rid of them?
Have you got
To the side.
copies of these sheets?
Yes. So it'll go in there like normal.